Sight words. No doubt you are familiar with the term sight words, but what exactly are sight words? Sight words are words that we need to teach children to recognise instantly and without any sounding out or decoding. They are often words that cannot be sounded out, so the idea is to lock them into your child's mind so they can be automatically and easily recalled. Lots of sight words are decodable, which means they can be sounded out, but many sight words can't be sounded out because they don't follow decoding rules. For example, said, was, where. We often fall into the trap as adults, however, of asking children to sound out words they don't know. But if you ask them to sound out the word said, for example, they would say, se, a, I, de, se, a, I, de. So you can see why it's so important that certain words can simply be identified and recalled instantly. Sight words are high frequency words, that is, words that occur most regularly in reading materials. Sight words are usually introduced at school in lots of 4 or 5. Teachers spend a lot of time focusing on these words in class, but the words are also usually sent home for parents to practice with their children. As you can imagine, learning to read can be tricky. To a beginning reader, words often look like a series of jumbled and meaningless symbols and markings. Imagine if the words in the chart below were represented or replaced with the matching symbols. Even as adults, we would initially find it challenging to remember and make sense of these. With this in mind, it is easier to understand just how important it is to help our students to learn and practice their sight words. So, why do we teach sight words? We want our children to learn to read with ease. So students who know their sight words well have a really good base for beginning reading instruction. We want our children to experience success by automatically recognising lots of words in their home readers and other books. The more sight words they have, the better chance they have of reading a text with confidence and ease. When do we teach sight words? Sight word instruction begins in kindergarten and continues into year 1 and year 2. It is most important to note, however, that some students will need extra time and will continue learning and practicing their sight words well beyond year 2. The sight words we teach are not just random choices. We teach sight words based on standard lists. The list we teach them from consists of 200 high-frequency words. It's quite a powerful statistic to note that these words make up 50 to 75% of all the words found in regular reading material. In other words, once children learn all of these words, their chance of reading success increases enormously. So how do we teach and practice sight words? At school, our teachers use a range of strategies when working with sight words. There's flashcard drill and practice, lots of sight word games, and recording sight words on word walls. Flashcard drill and practice is when a stack of sight words or cards are used for lots of fast-paced, short bursts of repetition in the classroom. This helps children recognise their sight words instantly, and it helps commit them to their long-term memory. Sight word games are a fun and engaging way to reinforce sight word retention. These are great to play at home over a 5 to 10 minute session. Treasure hunt. Line up 10 sight words and hide a sticker or a coin underneath one. If your child reads the word correctly, they get to look underneath to see if they've found the treasure. Sight word fishing can be played with a magnet on the end of a fishing line and paper clips on the sight word cards. Children fish for a word but can only keep it if they can read the word correctly. For a bit of fun, play silly sentences. Simply use the sight word cards to make nonsense sentences. Fridge or TV code is an idea which came from one of our parents. They would blue tack 4 or 5 sight words on the fridge door or on the TV remote, and their child was only ever allowed to access if they could read the code words. Kids love playing stepping stones. The cards across the carpet represent stepping stones in a river. If a word is read correctly, they proceed towards the other side. But if it's read incorrectly, they fall into the crocodile-infested river. And towers. This is a great pair game. From a stack of sight words, take turns choosing a word. If it's read correctly, it gets added to your tower. Kids love trying to beat their parents at this game. And finally, word walls. This is a fabulous classroom resource which is built up throughout the year. This becomes a really valuable references for our students. So, as mentioned, there are lots of great tips and resources available on the internet. These are just a few. Just remember though that when you're working with sight words at home, keep it fun, fast-paced, and limited to no more than 5 to 10 minutes a session. So thank you for taking the time to view this presentation, but most importantly, enjoy reading with your children at home.